Just because a pretty young girl is a receptionist doesn't mean she's easy prey. I was 22 working the front desk at this law firm downtown. The partners barely acknowledged me except for Howard Finch, a senior attorney who did estate planning. Howard never used my actual name, just sweetheart, honey, or sweetie. He'd explain basic tasks like, I might not understand English. I smiled and took it because I needed the paycheck for my night classes in pre-law. 3 months in, I noticed something off. Howard had elderly clients coming in multiple times for estates that should have been closed. In my pre-law class, we'd just covered estate administration. Most wrap up in 6 to 9 months. Mrs. Chen's file had been open almost 2 years with 4 separate appointments. When I asked Howard about it, he waved me off with, just make the copies, hun. Then Dorothy came in crying. She was maybe 70, shaking at my desk. Her sister's estate was supposed to be worth $200,000, but she'd only received $94,000. Howard told her the rest went to taxes and fees, but her accountant said the math didn't work. I gave her the managing partner's card and suggested she talk to Joan instead. After Dorothy left, I couldn't stop thinking about it. My grandma had died 2 years before, and I remembered how careful my mom was with every dollar. The idea of someone stealing from grieving families made me furious. I started making extra copies of Howard's documents. I also started a notebook at home, writing down every weird appointment, every suspicious check, every client whose file should have been closed. It started as venting but turned into a clear pattern. My boyfriend thought I was being paranoid. I wasn't trying to build a case, I was just angry, and Howard made it easy because he didn't think I could connect dots. The breaking point was Mr. Kowalski. He came in with his son for an appointment Howard canceled last minute, the second cancellation after a 3-hour drive. The son vented to me while I got them coffee. His mom's estate had been open 14 months with no final accounting. I suggested he request a full audit. He asked why a receptionist would say that. I shrugged and said my mom had to do one for my grandma's estate. 2 weeks later, he came back with an outside attorney and bank statements showing missing money. They met with Joan for 2 hours. When they left, Joan looked sick and called an emergency partner meeting. Howard came in the next morning acting totally normal. Still smiled, still called me sweetheart. He thought it would blow over. 2 days later, Joan called me into her office looking exhausted. She asked if I'd noticed anything unusual about Howard's cases. I admitted I'd been keeping notes. Her expression changed. She told me to bring them in. During lunch, I grabbed the folder from under my bed. 6 months of documentation, copied documents, my notebook with dates and amounts, a spreadsheet tracking problematic clients. When I showed Joan, she stared at everything. She asked why I kept all this. I said I'm studying pre-law, something felt wrong, and I couldn't ignore it. Joan asked if Howard knew. I almost laughed. Howard thinks I'm too stupid to understand what I'm looking at. Joan's jaw tightened. He has no idea who you are, does he? 3 days later, investigators from the state bar showed up, then police. The firm's forensic accountant found discrepancies going back years. Howard had been skimming from elderly clients' estates, $5,000 to $10,000 per case, more if they had no family watching. My documentation gave them the roadmap with specific dates, clients, and amounts. Howard got arrested at the office on a Thursday morning. I was at the front desk when detectives walked him through the lobby in handcuffs. He saw me watching, and I watched the realization hit his face. The girl he'd called sweetheart had just destroyed his career. He got disbarred, pleaded guilty to embezzlement and fraud, got 4 years in prison plus restitution. Joan offered me a paralegal position with double my salary. I took it, finished my pre-law program, and I'm applying to law schools this year. At least Howard won't be calling anyone sweetheart anymore.